I've had the pleasure of taking photos with my twin lens reflex or my TLR camera for about 2 years now, and most of my experience with TLRs revolves around this machine over here. My Yashica 635, a pleasure in its own right. The choice of having your focus and film winding knob on the right, and then having your aperture and your shutter speed controls at the front of the camera, and designing the shutter cocking and the film advance knob to be separate functions make for a shooting experience that is nothing short of a seamless shooting experience. Now, of course, a few of these features, such as the separation of the shutter cocking and the film winding being two separate activities in particular, are, as I understand it, actually an inferior design. You are essentially fitting an independent and separate shutter and lens component into a box, for lack of a more eloquent way of stating it. But I don't think that you can deny just how easy and seamless this design makes your overall physical shooting experience. So for me, I'm not sure that you can replace the separation of separate functions. Now, with the Rolleiflex, however, some things are different, and the extent to which they are different, though one may see them as subtle, for example, the film advance crank on the right, and then your focus on the left, there's no separation between the film advance and the shutter cocking, all of which make for, in my opinion, a slightly less streamlined physical movement for your photography or for setting yourself up to take the photo. However, there is one fact that you cannot deny. The Rolleiflex was built for serious business, and the intricacies of the mechanisms that coexist in this machine make this camera, or make this a camera that I don't think I will ever find the courage to open up myself, unless I find one that is already completely damaged. The complex system that exists just in this area over here is, for my non-engineering mind, a marvel. Just holding this camera in your hand for the first time, especially after, for example, me having had a Yashica in my hand for 2 years, just holding it in your hands for the first time is an experience in of itself, and has, I'm sure a lot of people might say, it's just German engineering precision. Just feeling the focusing, the different feeling of focusing is night and day. Just opening the hood, you can tell that this is a completely different beast in of itself. A mechanical triumph, if you ask me. There are various features and dials and intricacies to a Rolleiflex camera that I would describe individually and together as mechanical magic. Now, this model that I have over here in my hands is a Rolleiflex 2.8D. I do have another one, and I'll grab that now. Let's put this one down. A Tele Rolleiflex Type 1, which is essentially a Rolleiflex F-body with 135mm lenses, as opposed to the standard 75mm or 80mm lenses. Both of my Rolleiflexes have 35mm film counters fitted, and they came with the Rolleican 2 kit. I bought both of these together. I bought them for £800. The Tele Rolleiflex has some separation issues, and the 2.8D has coating imperfections. But I have run test rolls of film through both of them. I am relieved to report that there seem to be no significant effects on image quality. Rolleiflex TLRs have been the cameras of choice for various well-known photographers. Of note for me personally and in particular are Vivian Maier and Lee Miller, two brilliant photographers who documented real life and truth amongst other subjects, both of whom only found world-renowned recognition posthumously. Now, I don't want to reduce their work to the cameras that they've photographed with. Their bodies of work go beyond the camera and surpass any discussion of the nature that I'm having with you right now. But I will admit that I had felt content with my Yashica for the past 2 years shooting with it, but when I discovered a few months ago that Lee Miller used a Rolleiflex TLR while working as a World War II correspondent, I felt the need to get my hands on the Rolleiflex and experience it for myself, and I have since had no regrets with having done so. It's not quite in my nature to make a video about a camera or cameras that I have not yet fully immersed my photography into. With regard to results, I have developed only test rolls and have not yet developed the other rolls that I've run through both of these cameras. But this video was all about the cameras and how they feel in my hand. And this video was purely to share with you my opinion that you cannot deny that these cameras, despite their age of being over 70 years old, are mechanical triumphs. Thank you for being here, folks. A very short video, very unlike my usual videos where I'm really just discussing my, I guess you could say, first impressions and my overall opinion of Rolleiflex cameras. When I bought these cameras, I wasn't expecting to be wowed, although I just was incredibly curious. But I am not exaggerating when I say when I took them out of their case and felt them in my hand for the first time, I knew that I was dealing with a machine that had been so well thought out beyond what I would have thought that is, I'm not going to say what I thought is possible, but I just wasn't expecting it from a camera that's so old. Now, my opinions are based on these two cameras, which are actually the more modern of the Rolleiflex cameras compared to other models. So do take that with a grain of salt if you decide to get your hands on a Rolleiflex. There is so much more to each of these cameras that I have not yet shared with you, from individual features to collective features. And I'll be sure to, when I've taken a lot more photos with them and after I've gained experience with them, I'll be making videos about each of the cameras separately. The situation with my Yashica 635, however, is a completely different story. I've been taking photos with this camera for about 2 years now, so if you'd like to see a video where I share pretty much everything that I know about this camera, feel free to check it out. It should be on your screen in the next few seconds. So I do thank you for sticking around. I hope that you enjoyed the video. I'll end off with saying my usual thing, which is don't forget to keep taking photos, keep making videos, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.